Hey, fiancé freaks, I'm Sam.
I'm Emily, and this is 90 Day Fiancé Freaks. Sammy, you don't laugh before a traditional majesty like me unless I laugh.
That is such a classically royal line, is it not?
Royalty. He's the Igbo king, the Igbo traditional monarch, an oracle, a prophet. Girl, Lisa, don't you be laughing unless he laughs first.
She should have known. I mean, that's just common knowledge around a king, ma'am.
Poor thing. She's gonna pee her pants or shit herself with nerves. Meeting the king. Those are the words that came out of her mouth. She's so nervous.
She is a nervous laugher. I will 100% back her up on that. We have seen it all season. She is a very nervous laugher. So between the three, pissing, shitting, or laughing, I think she did great.
She chose the best possible outcome of those available to her.
Well, her body chose the best outcome.
The traditional rituals that the king is engaging in, swinging the necklace, rolling something on the board, that was really neat to see. We've seen so many traditional Igbo rituals throughout Daniel and Lisa's segment already this season.
Yeah, you can really tell how proud Daniel is to be Igbo and of his tribe and their culture and their traditions. We saw his hat, which Uncle was also wearing when they showed up to show the traditional Igbo tribe hat. That was really cool.
When the king did berate her for laughing, did you see the look on the uncle's face?
No, what was it?
He was smirking.
Ooh. Did you see when she got up the second time? He literally goes, "Don't laugh again." Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. I think she got the memo.
The uncle's facial expression, and then even Daniel had a small smirk. It did remind me of when Lisa first met the uncle, and it was just intimidation. It's almost as if they are hazing a new member entering the family, entering the tribe. It's a hoop that she has to jump through in order to become Daniel's wife, to become a member of the Igbo tribe.
No, I get it. They can't make it easy. I mean, you got to work for it a little bit. You can't just show up.
You can't just show up with that gorgeous wig and expect to be given the blessing right off the bat.
Exactly. There was some dancing. Again.
They danced.
Lisa began dancing in the airport with the traditional dancers, and now she's dancing again with the king. He said she did great. He said this wife is a good dancer. So well done, Lisa. And that takes a lot of bravery. I will give her that. That is stressful.
He commanded them to dance, so they danced. He commanded them to laugh, so they laughed.
Not laughing are Emma and Zied. Emily, ooh, we get some tension. Yeah, okay. Zied doesn't trust her anymore because of all the lies, and they break up.
So Zied feels lied to about Muhammad and her last visit to Morocco, right? Is this legitimate or not?
I mean, yeah, she lied to him. Well, I guess, did she?
And see, this is my question for you. Did she lie to him? Recall all the way back to maybe their first or second date when they're on the horse-drawn carriage. And Emma wants to tell Zied about her past. She wants to tell him everything right away. He shuts it down. They play this back and forth game for quite some time at the beginning of her visit. She wants to tell him, he's not ready to hear it. He asks her about it. She then won't tell him. So this is where my question comes in. Is he really being lied to by her? Or are they just like two boats passing in the night?
Well,
he wouldn't listen to her when she first tried to tell him.
That's very true. That's very true. And that upset me at the time. But I was thinking back to when they were having that tea, I think it was, and he asked her what happened when she ghosted him, or what happened when they first met, something like that. And she said, I was going through a breakup. That's all she would say was, I was going through a breakup. When she finally admits in the desert, she actually got back with Muhammad in that time and tried to make it work. And that's why so I feel like there was a little bit of lying there. No?
It's true. There was lying there. That did come after the horse-drawn carriage attempt to be forthcoming and tell him everything, in which he shut her down. So I think she was holding on to some sort of resentment and feelings of being rejected in trying to be completely forthcoming with him. And then again, he's trying to be the alpha male, trying to be the one in charge. He wants her to tell him on his terms, not on her terms. And she's not about that. She's like, look, I tried to tell you last night or a couple nights ago, whatever that timeline was.
Okay.
So you're right. She could have been forthcoming in that moment, but it would have been on his terms instead of on hers.
I feel like no matter what, he was just looking for a reason to break up with her. So it could have been this, it could have been that. It could have been the camel.
It literally does not matter. He was looking for a reason. He was looking for an excuse. He found it. He won't even talk to her.
Won't even talk to her. I do have to give it to her. She's straight up, again, we get another don't touch me, don't touch me. She respects that. She doesn't touch him. He walks to his own tent. Then she finds him on the edge of a cliff and completely just says, you are an asshole. You are a liar. And yes, girl, tell him. Tell him.
Say everything that you've been holding in, trying to look on the bright side, trying to make it work. She doesn't have to do that anymore. She can just say it outright.
Just say it. I will say, how did we feel about her completely outing their sex? Like weaponizing the 2 times they did it?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, at this point, I don't blame her. I think he can't expect that knowledge to not be put out in the world if he's having his relationship filmed.
True. I'll give that to you. That's the good point. I just don't love weaponizing it in that way, shouting it to him across the desert. What do you think about that? You gotta tell him we had sex? You gotta tell him? Like, okay. When she's already told them, meaning us.
She's heartbroken and she is definitely grabbing for a way to hurt Ziad. Ziad has just deeply hurt her the day after her birthday, didn't get a proposal. They're still on this romantic desert getaway. She is reaching for some way to hurt him back. And the way that she does so, you're right, is not great.
Lashing out, for sure. Lashing out. Also not great. Stranding her in the desert. That's just ungentlemanly. I don't care who you are. I don't care what she did. You let the girl ride in the back seat or you call her own ride. Point blank. Period.
When I saw him gathering up the luggage, pulling it around, I mean, I definitely thought he's stranding her in the desert. And then for just half a second, I wondered, maybe that's her luggage. Is he bringing it all? Are they just going to leave early? I don't know for sure yet. Just keep watching. No, he fucking strands her in the desert, just leaves, rips his mic off. He wants to leave her and forget her name. You can break up in the middle of a trip. You cannot strand your foreign significant other in a foreign country alone.
100%.
In a unique location.
The middle of the desert.
The middle of the desert.
not just a unique location.
Yeah, right.
Literally stranded. One of my top 5 worst fears. Being stranded in the desert or middle of the ocean. Absolutely not. No. Again, I just don't think it's humane. Like, it's just...
Right.
It's just not decent. It's also dangerous. I was worried. She is a young, single, beautiful woman from a different place, does not speak the language, does not know the culture apart from very introductory glances. Does he honestly expect her to spend a night alone in the desert? I would be scared as a woman alone in a foreign country in the desert.
Not only does she have no door, she has no walls. She can't lock herself in. The safety aspect of it is something I hadn't thought of until now. And being in a tent stranded in the middle of the desert in Morocco sounds scary.
It does sound scary. The desert is cold at night. It's dark. You can't see. It's very scary. And I'm sorry, Zied, but you told us what a man you are in the first episode. However, a man does not strand a woman in the middle of the desert no matter what goes on between you two.
Amen, Sammy. You can both leave.
Yeah.
In different cars.
Yeah, but just get her a car. She doesn't even speak the language. Okay, I am keeping track though, Emily. And we're doing a check-in because I don't know when they're going to phase her out of this season, but Muhammad's mother's dress has not graced her body yet. Just saying, just checking in on the bet we made so far.
The dress has not been seen, but we do know that Muhammad is going to be seen here pretty soon. I'm looking forward to continuing to see Emma's story as long as we possibly can. I mean, Zied, please get off the screen.
Bye.
Let's never see you again. But Emma, I would love to see a continuation of her story of the rest of her trip. As she says to Zied, I still have 2 weeks left in Morocco. I hope we get to see that.
Go call Muhammad, he says. I just hope Muhammad's hotter than Zied. Sorry. But he's also an asshole, so I'm not sorry.
Speaking of sorry, not sorry, Stig the artist himself, when Aunt Spring shows the picture of him kissing a, quote, super fan and the screenshot of the text, I'ma love you forever, Stig is the image of sorry, not sorry. He knows that's a hurtful thing to do, but he claims it's okay. She's a super fan. That's how I act around super fans. It's totally normal.
Mm-hmm. Do you believe him?
No. Do you believe him?
No.
I mean, of course we don't believe him. I just don't know what stake Corinne would have in telling that lie. I guess to get some screen time, to get a few minutes of fame. That just was not the vibe I was getting. Aunt Spring said that Corinne was really nervous and anxious to come forward with this information. She said that she didn't want to share it. It was hard for her to break Aviva's heart, to have to come forward and tell Aunt Spring the truth. I believe Corinne any day of the week before I believe Stig.
No, I 100% believe Corinne. Exactly. Should we entertain the notion that is there a world in which Aunt Spring recruited Corinne because she does have a chip on her shoulder about Belizean men?
Oh, wow. Is there a world? Yes, there could be a world where that's the case. And I do believe that's what Stig is hinting at. He says that Aunt Spring is just bringing her own baggage from her own Belizean relationship and dumping it on Stig and Aviva. But no way.
She's definitely bringing her own skepticism, and you can see that she wants to protect Aviva. I don't know if she'd go as far as recruiting her niece to come show a picture and fake a text. That seems a little extreme. But otherwise, like you said, I don't see why Corinne would be lying about this.
I cannot see the motivation behind Corinne lying.
You did call it, though. You did call it when you said Aunt Spring was going to give him an ultimatum and said, you tell Aviva or I will. And that's exactly what happened. She said that and I was like, oh, Emily was right.
And I was happy to see that Stig actually did follow through and tell Aviva the same exact story that he told Aunt Spring. Like, it is a story. But he kept his story straight. He told her he didn't try to hide any piece of it. He told Aviva, there's a picture. I'm kissing a girl on a cheek. There's a text saying, I'm going to love you forever. It's just a super fan. He stuck to his story. Aviva is not buying it. What do you think?
No, Aviva knows something. She feels it in her gut. She doesn't want to cuddle him, kiss him. She needs... This is what I was upset about. Aunt Spring left her hanging. Nobody's going to show her the picture. She's got to spend all night wondering what this picture looks like and what the text said.
Going back to the bar, when Aviva says she's feeling frustrated to be left out. What? Literally what? Aviva, stand up, push in your bar stool, walk your feet 10 feet over to where Aunt Spring and Corinne and your boyfriend Stig are standing, and insert yourself into the conversation that you have so much invested in. Aviva, come on, girl.
Well, Aunt Spring told her to stay put. She has to stay put. Emily? Okay.
This is what I mean about Aviva's persona of just being kind of a fragile flower. I'm not sure how else to describe it.
Yeah. She did say at one point in that time frame that she wondered what Aunt Spring's motivation was for pulling Stig aside and why she couldn't be there to have this conversation, which is what we had wondered last time too. So that was interesting that she thinks there's an ulterior motive as well.
Yeah. I still think it was just what you said, for Aunt Spring to give the ultimatum so that Stig is the one to communicate this information to Aviva rather than Aunt Spring, because Aunt Spring has already tried to tell Aviva who Stig is as a person, and here's the evidence I have, let me show you, and Aviva has not taken that at face value.
She's just plugging her ears, closing her eyes, whistling a tune, wants to stay oblivious.
So they're in the hotel. Stig tells the same exact story. Then he giggles and said, "Oh, Aviva, if I were really having a relationship with this girl, I would say, let's have a threesome." What? How did that come off to you? He says, "I'm joking because I have no reason to lie."
Oh, so cute. What a cutie. Like, what was he thinking? Was he thinking it was going to be cute?
Right. Like, to me, that just comes off as, again, smug. He's getting away with it. And now he's making a joke and honestly probably hinting at something that he truly does want, obviously.
He's testing the water.
He's testing the water and trying to play it off as a joke. And he thinks it makes him look more innocent. I think it makes him look more guilty. What do you think? Does it make him look more innocent or more guilty?
Dude, his face makes him look more guilty. He's just guilty. Everything. He's just, they're so dripping. Just dripping. Not with swag, but with motherfucking guilt.
Yeah. Good point. Good point.
The most delicious fruit tasting, Emily. I wanted to be in the living room with Molly, Dev, Sheena, tasting the cotton fruit, the candy of some sort. Anyway, oh, they had such a delicious spread.
The other fruit Sheena mentioned was pastillas, which she equated with soft milk candy.
And then Molly takes a
The
big old
papaya.
papaya. She says, "I'm going to tackle this baby next."
I thought that was so cute that Sheena set up that fruit tasting. That's how it appeared to me, that she had set this up. She's reading Molly well. They're having all this friction and all this tension, but she knows her mother-in-law. She knows what she's going to like. She's taking her on amazing tours, super knowledgeable, initiating samplings of local cuisines.
She's actually curating these feasts for Molly, which, now that you say that, makes me feel kind of sad about all this deception. Again, we've agreed not to call her a liar or say she's lying anymore because it's so nuanced and so much blame is being put on her. So I'll just say some deceptive behavior, maybe more than lies, right? So that makes me sad about all this deception because Molly and Sheena could actually be really good friends. They could be a duo.
I still think that's growing, and I still think that's the direction this relationship is going, even if it starts out rocky. So many relationships have their challenges, especially at the beginning. Evolution and changes people have to make as individuals and as couples to join their lives together. I still think that's the direction they're going. I do see the sadness and the heartache at what they're going through right now because of the cultural situation, is the way I will put it.
Forrest has researched romantic places in the Philippines, and he comes up with this mall, which Molly and Dev are not mall walkers, so they decide to stay home and tackle that papaya. But Forrest and Sheena go to this gorgeous mall that is Venice in the middle of the Philippines.
Forrest planned a romantic date for them from the U.S. He
Cute.
did this research, he planned it all out. Sheena has never been there before. So it's a surprise to her. Adorable.
I was surprised she hadn't been there. She seems so knowledgeable and well traveled within her country. And it was so cute that he found something she hadn't done before.
They're back in Manila, right? So Manila is huge. I'm pretty sure they are. They've left the province. They're back in Manila. So it is pretty cool that Forrest has found one small corner where she's never been. Their entire segment was just heartwarming. The example of what I've been hoping for them this entire season, time alone, time to focus on each other without the outside influences of both of their families, with each of their own specific cultural expectations.
Precisely what they've been wanting too. Forrest says it is so nice to spend time with just Sheena.
Yes. He says, I'm falling more and more in love with her every day.
Oh.
On the gondola ride, he calls her My Sheen, and she calls him Baby Bear. They have the cutest pet names.
They really do. And how cute were they in the costumes?
Oh, adorable. Forrest in the crown, Sheena in her little tiara.
Were we surprised they had a costume that fit Forrest? After the market scene where he couldn't fit in any of the clothes, I was like, ain't no costumes there for you. But there was. Good for them.
They both looked stunning and glowing.
Yes. And then they have just really genuine conversations, vulnerable. We love that for them. Then, yes, they get in the gondola. Did not love for everyone around them the singing.
I thought it was cute.
Yeah, cute for them. Again, not for anyone around them. I felt like the gondolier was like, oh, my ears.
Oh, come on, Sammy. No one else exists in this world. It's literally Forrest and Sheena. Every other person, every other fixture in that scene is just a backdrop for Forrest and Sheena's gorgeous love story unfolding as they float down.
No, Sheena was embarrassed.
Yeah,
Did
true.
you see the look on her face? She was like, Baby Bear, stop it. Stop it. But no, it was adorable.
Yes.
That's the thing about love. You can do the most embarrassing things and not care at all.
Yes, yes. And Forrest even points out the fact that they're finally getting the one-on-one time that he's been craving. The both of them in their interviews during this segment talk about what it feels like to spend that time together alone and how fulfilling and gratifying it is. How I feel with Sheena one-on-one, Forrest says, is beautiful and everything he's ever wanted. They can't imagine losing each other in spite of all the cultural differences going on both sides.
And that's why he takes her to that bridge and proposes.
That's why. Down on one knee. Well done, Forrest. Well done.
I cried.
Same. Oh my gosh, same.
Same for them. They both cried. They embraced. It was really, really beautiful.
I wasn't expecting it. Were you?
I guess not. I when I saw them walking over there and he was nervous, I thought to myself, oh, this is happening. But when they went to the mall in the first place, I was not expecting that. I did love Sheena feeding him lines in their interview when the producers asked, are you nervous to tell your mom? And Sheena's ventriloquist style out of the corner of her mouth tells him, we will tell her that this was our plan. Like she's absolute. And then he repeats the line directly to the producers. Classic.
So you loved that? You felt like that was supportive of her or manipulative of her?
I just loved it for me as the viewer. I don't know what it was, but
It was fun to watch. It was fun to watch for sure. I took it as supportive.
okay. I don't think it was malicious by any means, but I do think she knew what she was doing. She always does.
It was thought through. It was well thought out.
Yes. But yeah, she's trying to help him. She knows that he struggles for words or, to express himself. So she's definitely trying to help him, I think, in that moment. Then we see them on the ride back to their apartment.
They're so happy. They're so giddy, laughing, skipping almost into the ride back to the apartment. They're just over the moon. I just wish they could maintain that joy.
Forrest says, we're going to get a little bit freaky.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I sure hope they do. And they bring up their sex life and their love life. They've been waiting for the right moment. And now that they're officially engaged, they're ready to get it on.
But first they have to tell Molly that they're engaged.
And Molly has to rain all over their parade.
Dude, Molly is not happy. He says, are you happy for us? And Molly says, oh, I'm over the moon. I'm overjoyed. So sarcastically. Ooh.
I do think Forrest knew she wasn't happy, though.
We all knew she wasn't happy. The whole room knew she wasn't happy. Dev, staring straight ahead, does not dare to look at her. She looks straight at him to gauge his reaction, and he's just, nope, absolutely not. Stare straight ahead, deer in the headlights.
As you said before, Forrest does confront her. He doesn't just lay down and roll over and let her say and do whatever she wants. He calls her a stubborn ass.
Stubborn ass. Ooh.
Good for you, Forrest. Express yourself, express your feelings. She is putting a huge damper on his amazing, beautiful moment. I'm glad he calls her out.
Stubborn ass.
Our new couple this season, Elise and Joshua, show up. You've already seen Elise on Hunt for Love, so we do know a little bit about her.
Speaking of asses. She's pretty proud of hers.
Rob got that ass full.
That eyeful of ass.
There we go. There we go. There we go. So we do know a little bit about Elise already. She's a new character this season. She's already been proposed to 5 times. She's been engaged 3 times. She goes to meet her parents at the very beginning of their segment. They're on Cape Cod. She walks in. The greeting that she has with her parents is so adorable. Running hug with her mom. Kiss on the lips.
Yeah, it's so cute. And her parents have been married for 40 years. They are clearly in love. She says they're each other's best friends. Painting a very wholesome picture overall.
She wants the love her parents have. She says that, and she thinks she can find it in her Australian boyfriend, Joshua. What do you think, Sammy? Is he going to be the one?
The one after 5 proposals and 3 engagements. I mean,
we'll see.
We haven't met him yet, so we don't know. We have met his abs, and I was here for those. Thank you very much. But here's what I am stuck on. Her dad's a venture capitalist. She doesn't know what he does. None of us know what venture capitalists do. No, right. Explain that to me. You can't. But her ex stole her identity and racked up $500,000 in credit card debt. How much money this family got?
And her parents are the ones who bailed her out, we learn, at their vacation home in Cape Cod.
Right? I don't know anybody who has credit cards that will go up to $500,000. Is that a thing? Are there cards that go up that high?
Mine doesn't.
So that, and then we see her apartment, which her parents clearly pay for.
In Miami Beach. I mean, come on, talk about swanky. But back to the meeting with Woody and Beth, her parents in Cape Cod. They're so cute, and they're proud of Elise. They bring out the box of memorabilia from her childhood. They're proud of her, and they deeply love her, but they're also not afraid to call her out on her shit, say out loud they've bailed her out plenty of times, and that she's a wild child.
Absolutely. That's why I don't blame them for being skeptical of her going to Australia if they have bailed her out of $500,000 in debt or whatever the situation may have called for.
So then we're at her gorgeous apartment in Miami with her transgender cat, Stella.
I love her transgender cat, Stella. I just don't know if Stella had a choice in being transgender. And Joshua, we find out, lives with his parents. She goes out for a night with the girls.
The Miami pack of girls.
Can I just say that Lauren of Lauren and Alexi is 1,000% correct when she refers to Yara as Miami vibes, Miami girl. This was a pack of Yaras, was it not?
No, because Yara's clever and funny and smart and also hot.
Aesthetically.
Was this Miami pack of girls any of those things?
Aesthetically. The Miami aesthetic is what I'm referring to. The look. What do you think?
I don't. You're going to have to convince me of that. And Sammy, I'm going to try to convince you. Yara is 100% Miami. You're right. I also think Elise and her Miami pack of girls are 100% Miami. I think they are that in different ways. Yara's classy. She's smart. She's well-spoken. She's funny.
She's a businesswoman. She's a mama.
She's a mama. She's self-made. She's a very multifaceted person. Elise and the Miami pack of girls, I'm not quite sure I can say the same for them. What do you think of that?
Yeah, you're right. You convinced me. I don't even have to rebuttal. I don't even have a rebuttal. I agree. And Yara is real and raw, and she's very vulnerable. We love that about her. These girls seemed fake.
Yara is genuine. She's authentic.
Genuine.
They are so open about how hot Yara is and how middle Jovi is. I mean, like, no shade, Jovi. We love you. And Yara and Jovi are such a classic 90-day couple. Absolutely adore them. They are completely different than Elise and her pack of Miami girls.
I'm sorry. I did not mean to offend you. I just... the connection was just made in my mind.
Have I convinced you?
1,000%. 1,000%. I will not make that mistake again. I'm not very well versed in the nuances of the Miami scene.
And this actually does bring up something that I loved from their segment, which is my love for Miami. Let me say, I've spent 4, maybe 5 days in Miami. Real quick trip. In and out. I stayed on the beach on a gorgeous condo up high, overlooking the ocean. The beach right there, the walkway, the people watching, the food. Miami's fucking cool. I love Miami. I have a crush on Miami, and I remember that watching this segment. I don't know if it has something to do with a short trip. I think that if I go somewhere for a long time, it can be not as good. If you do a quick in and out trip, it can be very romanticized, and that's what my Miami trip was for me, and it leaves me wanting more. I would love to go back to Miami.
Did you just say you have a crush on Miami?
I have a crush on Miami.
Because I fucking love that. We are going to have to talk about all the places we have crushes on. Do you know how many places I have crushes on?
And it had never dawned on me that I could have a crush on a place until this exact moment. The words were coming out of my mouth as I was describing my feelings for Miami. I realized, ooh, I got a little taste. I was left wanting more. I got a crush on Miami.
Ooh, you just blew my mind. This is going to influence the rest of my life. I swear to God. Laura has to ask permission from BeerCon to go talk to her family and friends alone. Was that the vibe you got?
Ask permission or just let him know. Okay, so she's awkward about it.
Yeah.
No, that's not the vibe I got. The vibe I got is that Laura is awkward that she's calling Michael. Not that BeerCon is controlling about her calling a friend.
Okay. Do you think he knows she's calling Michael?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't realize that wasn't clearly communicated. What did she say? Did she say, I'm just calling a friend? What did she say to him?
I think she said she needs a few minutes to call family and friends alone, something like that. But she did not say Michael, I know for a fact. She said family and friends or people back home or something like that.
Then without a doubt, it's Laura being shady and awkward as all hell.
But BeerCon's a smart guy. He has to know she's calling Michael.
He has to know.
He has to know.
Either he knows and he's pretending like he doesn't know, or he just doesn't care because he's going to go get to smoke some shisha.
The way this man loves shisha. I'm concerned for his health. Like, it is not a healthy habit.
Same.
So she goes out to the veranda, the balcony, beautiful, and video calls Michael. She is so flirty with him, is she not, Emily?
I'm super pissed off at Laura and Michael during this conversation. She's flirty with him. It's so funny how my attitude has flip-flopped from the beginning episodes when we loved Michael. We were all rooting for Michael. Now that I've seen Laura and BeerCon go through some shit, I'm pretty pissed and annoyed at Laura for flirting with Michael. Yes, she is flirting with him. And I'm pretty pissed at Michael's reactions to pretty much everything Laura says.
He calls her emotionally compromised. So she tells him about BeerCon's debt and how drastic it is. And he says, come home now. You're emotionally compromised. This is a con.
He says that she's sacrificing common sense for a boat ride.
That was brutal. That was so insensitive and like so diminutive.
Exactly. Demeaning, diminutive. It's putting her down. It's trying to put her in her place. I don't know what Michael is getting at throughout their entire, quote, friendship. He's trying to keep her as a side piece, yet he doesn't have any main prospects. I don't know. I really don't know.
Same for her. She's keeping him on the hook, clearly.
Yeah, she's doing
But now that she's met BeerCon, she's like, maybe I don't need him on the hook no more. I don't know. But listen, Michael, you ain't seen this boat ride, okay? It was a beautiful boat ride.
The boat ride was wonderful and nice and a great romantic gesture. Yes, it definitely won Laura over, but it wasn't just the boat ride.
No.
It's who BeerCon is on the boat ride. Remember when they went to the E11 crafting location? It's the way that BeerCon sees Laura, knows who she is, knows what she likes, and reaches out to her with big romantic gestures.
Okay, but I actually did have a tiny pause when Michael said something about exactly that, because we've talked about that a lot, how BeerCon seems to know her so well and cater to her interests and say all the right things she wants to hear, and it has come off as so genuine to us. We've been surprised at how genuine it seems, because it could be so fake and so almost predatory if he's doing it on purpose. And Michael refers to that. Yeah, Michael says he's going to say all the right things. He's going to do all the things you want him to do because he's playing this game. And for a minute, I did think, oh shit, he is playing this game perfectly if that's what's going on.
It would be a very hard pill to swallow. And if anyone would be able to communicate that and help Laura see the light, it would be Michael. So as much as I felt mad at him and I didn't want him to rain on her parade, because I love Laura and BeerCon together, I did see his side, and you're right. Michael could be the one to be able to call that out for Laura and see the truth.
Well, we'll see, because he asks her, he says, he first tells her to come home. He says, come home right now. You're emotionally compromised. And then he asks her, okay, if you're not going to come home, let me come out there. Let me come meet him.
Laura does not want him to come.
No.
That is not how I expected the Michael going to Turkey situation to go down.
Me either.
That is not what I would have predicted. Michael asking, Laura clearly not wanting him. It was not the dynamic I was expecting. First of all, traveling all the way to Turkey on a dime sure doesn't cost a dime.
Right?
So for him to be begging her to come was very unexpected.
You said it. I did not see it going down like that. I was not thinking he was just going to be like, please let me come there. Her eyes when he said that, wide-eyed shock. Absolutely not. Nope. But she just says, I'll talk to BeerCon about it. I'll let you know.
That was the one thing that I did approve of in this conversation. Is Laura deferring to her and BeerCon's relationship. No, I will not say you can come until I've consulted my boyfriend.
Yes.
About my guy friend. That was the right thing to do.
Agreed. Very glad BeerCon is not going to be blindsided. I don't feel like he would have received that well.
No, he would not. I don't think he's going to receive Michael well no matter what, though.
No, but at least if he knows he's coming, he can prepare some of his famous one-liners to use on all of us.
I cannot wait to hear what type of philosophy one-liners he has to throw out at Michael.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be of a much different variety than the type of philosophical phrases he says to Laura.
Ooh, very good point. And I wonder how Michael will take it when he's not blinded by attraction like Laura is. Is he going to see through this, or is he going to also, what if BeerCon wins him over?
One can hope, one can dream. Okay, CME, next week on Before the 90 Days, Rick and Trisha are back and they've survived their fight, apparently. They're still trying at their relationship.
Ugh.
Elise goes to Australia. Aviva faces the truth about Stig. Forrest, Sheena, and Molly are in an interview together. And Lisa comes clean about her marriages.
Ooh, it's gonna be good. This week, couple quick questions, Emily. Family and Friends edition, Elise's parents.
Can't wait.
Are they what you expected?
Absolutely not. I know Elise from Hunt for Love. We saw a lot of Elise. We saw a lot of Elise on Hunt for Love. We didn't see any of the families in that setting of the 90-Day franchise. I was very pleasantly surprised to meet Elise's parents. They were adorable. They definitely brought some three-dimensionality to Elise.
Oh, I love that. Do they support the relationship?
I don't think they fully support the relationship. I think they question Elise's ability to make good decisions.
No, they don't support the relationship at all. You're putting it too kindly. They're absolutely not. She even says, my parents don't think I make good choices. None of us do, Elise.
I'm being too nice. You're so right.
How do they feel about Elise going abroad?
They're not happy about that either. They're aware that Elise has not found love in Miami, but they don't think that she's going to be able to find love in Australia either.
And how much is this going to cost them?
Right. Oh, but she's not going to run to them this time, remember?
Oh, that's right. Would they 90 day?
Never. They've been happily married for decades. They're just the picture of a beautiful long marriage. No way. They're happily married.
Where would you go in this episode?
I would love to go back to Miami Beach. Visit my crush city.
I should have seen that coming. I'm going to that Venetian mall in the Philippines.
That's such a good one. I would love to go to the Venetian Mall as well.
My 90-day takeaway this week is a direct quote from Forrest. Keep following your dreams, everybody, and you'll get there.
Oh, heartwarming.
Also, get a little bit freaky.
That's it, Fiancé Freaks. If you liked this episode, be sure to match our freak by subscribing, leaving a review, and following 90-Day Fiancé Freaks on social media for more.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.